What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 states that people are leaving that might actually surprise you. And we're going to talk about how they compare to North Carolina, maybe the Winston Salem area specifically. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the list of where my actual clients that have come here and closed from other states, where they're coming from. So make sure you stick around for that. And now let's get into the video. My name is Ramon Lomeli. I'm a local realtor and the team leader of the Smart Move Group brokered by eXp Realty here in Winston-Salem, as well as all the surrounding areas. And the reason that I wanted to make this video, actually not for you guys, mostly for me, because I want to find out what states people are leaving and how that compares to North Carolina. By the way, guys, we're getting all this information from a recent Forbes article. And in that same article, it actually mentions that North Carolina is the number 4 state that people are actually moving to. And that's what we're going to be diving into today. And I just want to take a quick second to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, concerns about this video, about the Winston-Salem area, about North Carolina as a whole, feel free to reach out. Give me a call or shoot me a text. The number on the screen is my personal cell phone number. It goes to no one else but me. You can call me or shoot me a text. If you're getting any kind of value out of this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, leave me a comment, but above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things keep me motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you. I'm also going to leave some awesome links in the about section of this video, including the free Winston-Salem relocation guide, all of my social media handles in case you want to be my friend on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. All right, let's get back into it. So if you're thinking about moving here to the North Carolina area, or even the Winston-Salem area specifically, you're definitely not alone. You're amongst a lot of people that have fallen in love with the state for one reason or another. The economy is thriving and there are plenty of affordable housing options throughout the state and even here in our local area, making North Carolina a very attractive option. And you may not know this, but the state is actually full of lots of culture, history, and stunning scenery. So the first state that people are leaving, according to Forbes, it's probably not a big surprise to you, and that's going to be California. Now, I'm actually from Southern California myself personally. I'm from Anaheim, California, in case you know where that's at. And I can understand the charm. I mean, it's beautiful, great weather year round, but there are a lot of things you don't consider when maybe you're just visiting. But if you live there, you're definitely going to notice. One of the hardest parts about living in California is the home prices. California has the second highest median home values in the United States. Around $760,000 is the median home price in California. And it actually has the second lowest income to home value ratio, despite residents making 22% more than the average American. And just for comparison's sake, because I like to rub it in a little bit, the average home price in North Carolina is about $321,000, just over 57% cheaper than California. Now, California's overall property tax rate is actually cheaper than a lot of states, actually cheaper than North Carolina, surprisingly. But what happens is because their home values are so much more expensive that you actually end up paying more. Even though you're built in California at a lower tax rate, the prices of homes are so much more expensive that you actually end up paying more money. California's median annual property tax is about $2,800 as compared to North Carolina. Our average is about $1,200 for the year. When talking about the reasons that people are leaving California, a lot of people mention natural disasters. Obviously, California is a massive state encompassing many different types of landscapes, but depending on the region that you're in, you might encounter floods, earthquakes, droughts, and even wildfires. I remember growing up in Southern California, feeling an earthquake was not really that unusual. We all knew the drill. We, grew up practicing to get in the doorway or, under the desk if you're at school. But honestly, I've never felt an earthquake. I heard that we had one here in North Carolina, but I didn't feel it. It was kind of far away, and that's been 20 years that I've lived here. I've only heard of one. I've heard of a wildfire here and there, but not really here in the Winston-Salem area. And the coast of North Carolina does get hurricanes. We in the Triad area are very inland, so we might get the heavy rains and the heavy winds, but we're not gonna get the full-blown hurricane. We don't have tornadoes. We're not that far inland. The mountains kind of shield us from that kind of weather. So yeah, some parts of North Carolina do get some natural disasters, but nothing compared to the amount of natural disasters that you experience in California. In second place of states that people are leaving comes New York. Now, don't get me wrong, at some point in everyone's life, we've all wanted to at least visit, if not live in New York. History, culture, vibrant city, New York City, of course, entertainment, food, I mean, anything you can imagine, you can find it in New York. But despite that, over the last year, 75,000 families have actually left New York. And Forbes actually stated the top reasons that people were fleeing New York. And some of those were high cost of living, high taxes, and the brutal brutal winters. New York is known for its high cost of living, especially when you consider, New York City. Some of the most expensive real estate in the entire world is in New York City. But not only housing, food, and other necessities happen to be more expensive in New York than most other places in America. And obviously New York is a big state. There's a lot of area that's not obviously New York City, but their average home price as a state is about $425,000. Now, if you compare that to North Carolina, once again, not to brag, but our average home prices here are $321,000. And not to brag even further, but here in our Triad area, the Winston-Salem area really of North Carolina, our average price point recently, or so far this year I should say, is about $290,000. So even then, still more significantly cheaper, but I know you can find some great properties significantly even under that. Now let's talk about New York taxes, something that I know nothing about if it weren't for the internet. New York has the second highest taxes, state and income taxes, at 14.23%, with an average of about $9,894, which is insane to me. I mean, it'd have to be a multi-million-dollar property for it to be that much. Maybe not quite that much, but it'd have to be up there for the taxes here to be that much. New York has some of the highest taxes in the country: income, property taxes, and sales taxes. This can make it difficult for both individuals and business to make ends meet. And the third reason that people are apparently fleeing New York is the brutal winter. Now, I don't mean to brag, but the temperature in the state of North Carolina as a whole is, quite temperate. We don't get too cold. We don't get too hot. We do get a little humid, but nothing compared to like Florida, or nothing compared to like if you've been to Puerto Rico or like Louisiana. Those are really hot and muggy places. We are hot and muggy here, but not to those extremes. We have an amazing, beautiful fall. The winter, like I said, it's cold. Right now we're sitting at the end of December. This is actually the last video I'm doing this year for you guys, but we're sitting here right before Christmas in December 2023. We have not seen snow yet. We may not see it at all this year. Who knows? We'll go 2-3 years without seeing snow, then we'll get 2, 3, 4 inches, just enough to see and play around. Like I said, winter's not very cold. We might get a little bit of snow. In the mountains, obviously, you're gonna get some snow. Springs are beautiful. Lots of pollen is the only negative part about spring. Summers are beautiful and hot. 80s, 90s. Rarely do we get into the 100s. A little bit of mugginess, a little bit of humidity. Not too bad. And fall by far is the best season in North Carolina, hands down. I'll put North Carolina falls against any other state. In 2022, New York actually placed as the 14th coldest state in the nation, while North Carolina was number 39. Now let's talk about the third state that people are leaving according to Forbes. That's going to be Illinois. Now, Illinois and North Carolina are actually quite similar. They're both great places to live if you enjoy the history, the culture, the outdoors, sports lovers. Unfortunately, Illinois over the last 9 consecutive years has experienced a significant population decrease. Nearly 141,000 people have left Illinois since the last 2 censuses. So let's talk about the reasons according to Forbes that people are leaving. So the number one reason people are leaving Illinois, as it seems, is the tax rate. A Wallet Hub study found that about 15% of each household's income in the state of Illinois is paid into state and local taxes, which is the highest in the nation. That's an average of over $10,000 and a 22% hike since 2017, which is crazy. Illinois also has the highest tax for gas at 60 cents per gallon, the highest cell phone tax at 34%. It's tied for second in the highest estate tax. As far as property tax, it's the highest second tax rate. So I can see why people from Illinois are fleeing the state. Now, the weather in Illinois can obviously differ. Illinois, a big state, especially when it comes to like the northern part and the southern part of Illinois. Here in North Carolina, kind of same thing. We differentiate the weather a little bit more, like the western part of the state versus the eastern part of the state. And Illinois does have a great sense of outdoors, some beautiful scenery as well. But overall, Illinois is definitely going to be a way much colder state than North Carolina. And last year, Illinois ranked as the 26th coldest state to have the coldest winters. Number 26 Illinois was, while North Carolina came in at number 39. And we got a couple more states to go, and the fun part at the end of the video. Before we get into that though, I just want to take another chance to remind you, another plug if you will. Do me a huge favor, hit that like button, leave me a comment, but above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things keep me motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out. The number on the screen is my cell phone number. It goes to no one else but me. Awesome free links in the about section of this video. Let's get back into it. Pennsylvania is also on this list. Now, I was surprised to see Pennsylvania on this list because from what I understand, they have some beautiful natural scenery as well as some affordable homes. But it has been reported that Pennsylvania has seen a major decline in its population, and they actually named 2 reasons why. The first reason that was named was because of employment. Pennsylvania has experienced a wave of job cuts in 2023 with a wide range of businesses announcing layoffs across the year, while North Carolina is projected to add over 300,000 jobs to the state between 2018 and 2028. We're actually right smack in the middle of that as we speak. And here locally in the Winston-Salem area, we have businesses coming to the area, big corporations, so it's a great time to be here in this area. And another reason that people are leaving Pennsylvania is they go in search of better weather. Pennsylvania is ranked as one of the coldest states in the country. According to last year's average temperatures, Pennsylvania is the number 19 coldest state in the nation. Once again, North Carolina, number 39, so we're not doing too shabby. We're actually kind of like in the back half of that list, which is kind of surprising. And like I previously mentioned, we do experience all 4 seasons, which I love to see coming from California, basically being summer all year long, basically. Seeing all 4 seasons, spring, the summer, the fall, the winter. I love it every single year I get to experience. There's something you like about every single season here in North Carolina. But yeah, summer's not too hot, a little humid. We talked about this already. Winter's not too cold, a little bit of snow. Nothing too shabby. We may not even see snow, especially here in the Winston-Salem area. So number 5 in the top states that people are leaving according to Forbes is Massachusetts. Now, Massachusetts is one of the oldest states in the union. They've got prestigious universities. They've got so much history, so much culture. But unfortunately, Massachusetts lost almost 16,000 households last year alone. And they named 2 reasons why that was, and let me know if you can guess it. Number 1 is going to be the home prices. Massachusetts has the 4th highest typical home value and among the lowest income to home value ratio, despite the median income being about 26% above the national median. The median home price in Massachusetts, according to this Forbes article, is about just over $600,000. That's almost 30% higher than the national average and 47% higher than North Carolina, which, like I mentioned before, our average is about $320,000. Even cheaper in the Winston-Salem area, I might add, just in case you're wondering. And the second reason why people are leaving Massachusetts, according to this article, is retirement, or the cost to retire. Massachusetts is ranked as the 46th worst state to retire in terms of affordability. While the quality of healthcare for retirees and overall well-being is actually quite highly rated, you will have to pay for it. And it ranks low for retirees because of the high cost of living, the high home prices, the high cost of healthcare, and the high cost of food. And actually, North Carolina was just listed as one of the best places to retire, also according to Forbes. And a large part of that is the affordability, the culture, and the climate. All right, now for the exciting part of this video, at least for me, I'm going to show you guys where people actually moved here. People that I actually helped buy a home in North Carolina from another state. I'm going to show you where they actually came from. This might be more for me, but maybe this interests you or not. But I'm going to try to do this at the end of every year, kind of as an end of year recap. So let me know your thoughts on that. And let me know if you were expecting this. So within the last 2 years, I had 1 family from Michigan, 1 family from Illinois, 1 family from Utah, 1 family from Washington, 1 family from South Carolina, 3 families technically from Texas, but they all kind of came in like together. So I don't know if you want to count that as 1 family or like 3 households really from Texas. No, 1 was from Raleigh, 1 was from Charlotte, so in-state they're moving here. I had 2 from New Hampshire, 2 from New Jersey, 3 from Massachusetts, but by far the one that people are actually moving here from the most, hands down, 100%, 10 people, 10 families, 10 households in the last 2 years move here. And just to me, and I helped, there's hundreds of thousands of realtors out there. I'm just one of them. I helped 10 families from Florida move to North Carolina in the last 2 years, which is insane. So let me know if that's kind of what you're expecting and what you think of this list. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Before you go clicking on one of my competitors' videos that's probably being recommended to you as we speak, darn you, YouTube, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email if you have any questions. Of course, hit that like button, leave me a comment, but above all, subscribe. Those kinds of things keep me motivated to keep bumping out these videos for you. All right, that's enough. I'll see you next year.